A Reflection. A Zen story for children. Once there were two brothers who owned a farm together, Bob and Bob. People thought that it was strange for two brothers to have the same name, but they really didn't. Bob's name was spelled B-O-B, but Bob's was the opposite. Bob was a very happy man, but his brother was miserable. Bob loved people, but his brother hated them. Whenever they were with other people, Bob would laugh with them happily, but his brother would laugh even harder at how stupid they all were. Bob was happy and loved to be happy. He loved the farm and couldn't wait for the sun to rise so he could get to work. He got up every day with a smile on his face. Bob, on the other hand, hated the farm, but would get up even earlier. He hated his happy brother, and every morning he smiled, thinking of how he'd shamed him into getting out of bed and to work. One day they decided that their house needed painting. Bob loved blue, but he loved his brother even more. So he asked his brother to decide on a color. His brother, however, thought that blue was the ugliest of colors. So he told Bob, "I insist on painting the house blue." Bob loved yams and could eat them every day. When they brought in the crops, his brother would sell everything else and keep all of the yams. Every night they would have their yam supper, and happy Bob would have a tear in his eye because his brother was so good to him, while sad Bob would smile as he choked down the yams that he hated, because he was making his brother eat those horrible yams too. In his heart, Bob knew that his brother didn't love him. His only sadness was that his brother would never know what it was to love. And this empathy made him love his brother even more. Sad Bob sensed this, and it made him furious. It made him so furious that he decided to kill his brother. He got the shotgun and pointed it at him. When he saw the gun pointed at him, happy Bob began to cry. He was so sad at the depth of his sad brother's unhappiness. Unhappy Bob got a bright smile on his face as he gloated on his brother's sadness. But his brother thought, "I've finally made him happy," and began to cry even harder. "I've finally made him sad," the sad brother thought, and he decided to let his brother live so he could enjoy watching his misery. The two brothers lived happily and sadly ever after.